Hey guys, and welcome back to the latest episode of Cultured Boys, a show where two guys just want to have a chat. As always, I'm joined by Pepe, and this week we're going to be talking about Pokemon Legends Arceus, or how do you pronounce that?
I always thought it is Arceus. I've always thought it was Arceus. What is the other alternative? Isn't it like
Arceus, but I think someone said to me because they realized in the UK we say arse
yeah?
as in
So
butt.
it sounds
So
weird,
then they were
yeah.
like, "Oh, we probably shouldn't make them pronounce it like that because we don't want the god Pokemon or the creator of all Pokemon to be related to butts."
Yeah. What a great start to this episode. Yes, God Pokemon, aka Buttman.
Are you are you enjoying this, guys? This is the new era of Culture Boys where the intros are just I don't even know.
Summon. It's summon. Let's go with Arceus though. We go roll with Arceus, and if we're wrong, well,
I seriously think it is Arceus because of what we just mentioned earlier.
yeah.
It makes sense if that's the case, but yeah, I'm still gonna say Arceus.
Yeah, I feel like it's Arceus. Let me just double check quickly.
Again, I'm pretty sure it's Arceus now, but we're getting bogged down in minor
Okay.
details.
Hold on,
Is
hold on,
all
hold
I'm
on.
thinking.
Arceus in English. So it is Arceus.
Yeah, again, see, like I said, it makes sense because in the UK we say arse instead of ass.
So in Japanese they say Arceus.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, that's there we go. So
Ew.
Arceus.
Arceus. Yeah. We're just gonna ignore the Japanese pronunciation because that just sounds wrong. Although when you say it, it just makes me think of The Simpsons. Dr. Sayers.
Right, we are definitely getting too bogged down on this. We're definitely getting too
Yep.
bogged down. Right, okay, so the game came out on the 28th of January. And yeah, like we've been playing it for a week. I don't know how far you've gotten it, Nate. I've got pretty much up to post game.
Yep. I am in post game.
And I guess in which case there's gonna be some spoilers in this episode.
Potentially. We will try our best not to, but it's hard to talk about it and not have it spoiled. We did wait specifically this long, like a
Mhm,
week or two,
yeah.
because we thought we'd give time for people to play it before we talk about it.
In which case, well, we'll put a spoiler warning or like say spoiler warning beforehand, and then
Yes.
like we'll try our best, but no guarantees there won't be any spoilers in this episode, guys. Just a little disclaimer there.
Yep.
But yes, how you found the game, Nathan? How you found it?
I loved it. I thought this
Mm.
game was really good. Like it was
Oh
a
yeah.
really refreshing take on the familiar.
I completely agree. I think it's just like they've made the right changes, and it is just like it's one of the best Pokemon games so far. In my
Yeah, like
opinion.
so the thing is I could understand people's complaints before the game came out. Like when they came out and said like it's not fully open world.
Mhm.
I understand the complaint of that, but it actually is fine. It's
I don't have any
fine,
problems with it. Yeah.
right? All I can say is this game, I feel like this is what I've always wanted out of a Pokemon game without
Mm.
realizing it.
Yeah.
Because it's everything you imagine as a kid, right? When you were playing on the little Game Boy or your first one where you see your little character running around in like the four cardinal directions. But this is kind of how you imagine it, right? You're a fully 3D character running around in an environment, Pokemon pop up, but they're not always the same Pokemon, and you have to collect things. It's kind of how you'd imagine Pokemon to be in real life.
Yeah. I like 100 because like you get the like obviously they've gone away from the random encounters as well, so that's gone. Which I think a bit of mixed reviews on it. Some people like the old school fans are a bit like, they're not keen on it. But like I don't know, me personally, it's like you said. This is what it would be like if you were in the Pokemon world. You wouldn't just like not see a Pokemon and suddenly it just jumps out at you and you're like, shit, where's
Yeah,
that come from?
exactly. Like you'd walk into an area and expect to see like, oh, this is what is in this area. This is what should be known to be here.
Yeah, 100%. Like so, and like you see multiple Pokemon just roaming around as well. That's the one thing. Like and then you can just lock on, throw the Pokeball at it. I think yeah, it's streamlined a lot more. So you don't have to. It's not like a ball ache to try and go through. Like it doesn't. It's not time consuming. Is what I'm trying to say. Like when in
Yeah,
the old Pokemon games, if you wanted to catch a Pokemon, like say if you're looking for like a like what do you call it? That Perugly, for example. That's one that's in my mind right now. I don't know why. Um, but like, say if you're looking for that and you're like, okay, cool, I've got to go through the random grass, try and find this thing. Like, and so half the time you'd bump into other random Pokemon while you're looking for this Pokemon that you're trying to find. And it could be so tedious. Where with this one, you just rock up to the area, the Pokemon ain't there, Pokemon ain't there. You got to look somewhere else for it. Or like you got to come back at a different time of the day or something
yeah.
like that. Like,
Or
it's just
like
so much
even
easier to.
alternatively, like like in the classic Pokemon, even if you found it, you still have to go into the battle animation, and like
Mhm.
the catch rate is significantly lower if the health is like full and you're not like super higher level than it, right?
Mhm.
But in this, that kind of doesn't matter because the whole point is they don't know, the catch rate is sort of unknown. You're just out there throwing Pokeballs, catching everything anyway.
Yeah, you just
So
gotta take a
like
chance. That's all it is. You gotta take the
that in
chances.
itself is streamlined
Yeah.
because you can just rock up, crouch, hide in the grass, chuck it at the back of the Pokemon or the front, wherever, right? Just chuck a
Mhm.
Pokeball and then just run off. And you can do that for everything in the area pretty much. You could just run in, chuck Pokeballs all over the place, and then walk off like, cool, I'm done.
That is literally it. Like if you don't fancy battling or you feel your Pokemon are under leveled to fight this certain one, you can literally just like throw that Pokeball and then just leg it. Like
Yeah.
that's an option.
And you don't even have to throw Pokeballs. You can just they're populated enough that there's enough space to like weave in and out of Pokemon. You could just walk. You could just run through them like, cool. I don't want anything here.
Yeah. Or like if like one of these Pokemon does like catch you and it wants to like fight you and everything, you just run away. It's so easy to just like run away from this
Oh,
thing.
that's another thing. Like because you can still control your character
Hmm.
during the battle animations, you don't even have to wait for the button prompt. You can
No.
just run too far away, like physically run away, and then it's like, oh yeah, you got too far away.
Yeah, I don't think I've like
Battle
ever
cancelled.
manually pressed the one runaway button in this game. I don't think I have like at all.
I think the only time I've done that is when I'm in a fight with an alpha, and then I'm like, "Ah, crap."
Yeah,
Even then, I've also physically run like a mile away and then hit the button still just to guarantee I'm
yeah,
gone.
yeah. I think I've only run away from a couple Pokemon. To be fair, as like you say, alphas are probably the ones that
Well,
like
that's
what do you
also a
call
new
them?
feature I guess we should mention.
Yeah,
There are alpha Pokemon, so they're huge.
yeah.
They're
Mm,
gigantic. They've got glowing red eyes, so you can definitely tell the difference. And they are always aggressive, and normally they're way stronger than the Pokemon of that same type in that area.
yeah. They'll like know quite a few different like varied moves as well. Like they have like
Oh yeah.
that's the one thing about this game as well, right? Like I feel like coverage matters so much more in this game than it has done
Oh yeah.
in any other Pokemon game. Because like usually I'm like, oh cool, I'll just use my favorites on my team, like my favorite Pokemon, and it'll be fine. But with this, I wanted to use my favorite Pokemon, but I was also like, I don't want too many of one because my team would just get absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, I
So
struggled a lot, like
yeah.
through the actual journey,
Mm,
because like you said, like if you don't have the right moves, the right type of Pokemon,
yeah,
you're gonna get wrecked.
exactly. And that's especially it when it comes to alpha Pokemon because I feel like normal random Pokemon in the wild, you can probably like assume what their moves will be and you can just like take them out like that. But
Yeah.
with the alpha Pokemon, they have coverage. They've got like decent coverage. They're like fucking hench. Like their like, attack stats are like way above. Like
Yeah,
they'll start
I
using.
was gonna say, I feel like an alpha Pokemon is like somebody you almost like somebody had bred these Pokemon specifically for the meta and then was released and then it was just there growing by
Yeah.
itself and you happened to run across and it was like, I'm
Hmm.
gonna kill you.
Yeah. Yeah, like these things, like they'll go for you. They're literally get like they're out for blood. These
Oh yeah,
Pokemon,
they are
like,
aggressive.
yeah, they see you, they'll run after you. These like, and they'll like. That's the one thing as well that's different in this game is that you can take damage yourself as the player.
Yep.
So like that's I think like that's mainly where I've taken my damage from in this game. It's alpha Pokemon. They're just like I'm just
Same.
like going about my den. This thing just spots me and it goes for me. Right, I haven't even got a chance to throw a Pokeball out. It's like fuck you. I'm going like poison sting the shit out of you and stuff like that. Like A Drapion
It's
chasing after you while you're like trying to just go about your day is the most terrifying thing.
like, although with alpha Pokemon, sometimes you'll see the funniest Pokemon. Like it'll be huge and it'll be aggressive, but then you realize what it is, and you're just like, that doesn't make any sense. Like
Yeah.
there's one area where I keep running into this alpha Chimecho,
Oh, I
and
know
I'm
the
just
exact
like,
area you're in. I know,
yeah.
yeah.
And you know when you're like, Chimecho is supposed to be happy and friendly, but this one is chasing me down and is about as big as my character, and it just doesn't make any sense.
And the thing is, though, when you attack that Alpha Chimecho as well, it's again, it has the coverage. So I've lost like one or two Pokemon in my team trying to catch this thing, and it's just going for me.
Or like, I've fought several alpha Badoos. I
Oh, that's
fought
the one
an
I was gonna
alpha
say. Yeah,
Wormpool. Like, there's some of them that you're just like, why?
yeah.
Why? Why is that a thing? But I appreciate it nonetheless.
They're quite. The thing is with like the lower level Alpha Pokemon, they're still quite easy to kill. I feel. I still like. I feel even though they're
Oh
higher
yeah, yeah.
level and they have like higher stats and stuff, like they're still reasonably easy. They're still easy.
They're only there to exist because, like you're in like a low level area or something, and like
Hmm.
you might
Yeah.
want something powerful to get you through to the next bit or something. But yeah, I just find it funny that any Pokemon can be an alpha, and you could technically
100%.
run into almost anything as an alpha.
Yeah, there's alpha Pokemon for each Pokemon in this game. There's an alpha version of it. Like maybe not like the legendaries, but still.
Yeah, probably not the legendaries, but like I'm still hoping that I run into a like an alpha Pichu or something. I just want to see it.
Oh, yeah. I think my funniest one, I think, is the second alpha I ran into that I caught. It was an alpha Pachirisu. And like literally, it was just on my team for ages, just because it was just absolutely wrecking things. I was like, I got Alpha Rhydon, which I snuck up on, and I got Alpha Pachirisu just because I don't know, I just wanted it. I just saw this like aggressive fucking this aggressive
This
electric
giant
squirrel, and I was like,
squirrel. Yeah.
I want this. It's the size of me, and it'd be the size of most like Rhydons and stuff as well, and Rhyhorns. It'd just be like it's the exact same size of these things. It's
Again,
just
that's the
brilliant.
funniest thing about alpha is like I caught an alpha Ralts the other day
Oh
and
yeah.
evolved it. So it's an alpha Gallade now, right?
Oh
But
wow.
the Ralts was as big as me, and
Mm.
now the Gallade is about as big as a Rhyperior. Like it's
Yeah.
about as big as a Rhyperior or a Gyarados or like some small Onyxes. And I'm like, this Gallade is huge. It's like twice the size of my character, and it every like when you battle, sometimes they look back at you, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
this giant thing is looking at
Yeah.
me, and it kind of scares me, but I own it.
I know. If only it knew its true power, it could
Yeah,
destroy
right.
us.
It would
Yeah.
have destroyed the ball and then turned around and just ate me or something.
It's like Attack on Titan, but with Pokemon. But I'm curious, Nick. What is your team? Like, what is your like? What was your team that you kind of finished the game with, without giving too many spoilers?
I finished with an Arcanine, an Electrode. I've got Basculegion,
Hmm.
Ursaluna,
Hmm.
and I've got Braviary and Goodra.
Ah, okay. It's quite two of them are similar to ones I had on my team. So I had a Gudra,
Yeah.
Alpha one as well. I was like, I just saw like an Alpha.
Ooh.
I caught it was a Sliggoo. You know the
Yeah.
second evolution. I found an alpha version of it. I was like, I'm keeping that. So I got that. I got Rhyperia. I've
Okay.
got again an alpha one because I got an
Yep.
alpha thing. I got Electrode. I've got Octillery Alpha.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I got Overquill,
Okay.
and I've got Decidueye.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So a fair few Pokemon that on that team with Hisuian forms as well. I think.
Well, spoilers, I guess. My
Yeah.
entire team is Hisuian forms.
Yeah. That's true. Well, we knew there was quite a few in there, but I think
Yeah,
like
a
at
lot
this
of the ones I
point,
have, I
yeah.
think, I think half of my team were announced beforehand.
Mm,
Like,
yeah.
like Basculegion, Braviary. Voltorb and Arc and Growlithe were announced beforehand, so you could assume.
That's fair though. I think it's fair to say like we can reveal the forms of these Pokemon as well. Like I think like the Pokemon themselves as different forms, like I think that's pretty fair game now. I think it's fine to
Yeah,
actually
I mean,
showcase
we
those.
already said
Yeah,
spoilers, so I feel
yeah.
like you might
I
as
feel like
well,
that
innit?
they're
Like,
they're, they're
so
good. I think it's like story spoilers is probably still a bit raw right now. So I think like we try our best
yeah,
to
that's
avoid those.
fine. We'll
But the
leave
forms are
those,
good.
but
Yeah.
like, I don't know. So I know people are sensitive about Pokemon types and
Hmm.
revealing that they've got regional forms or whatever, but it's too late for that now.
Yeah, exactly that. But yeah, like I just enjoyed that. This is okay. This is the one game as well that I feel I haven't seen the whole Pokemon list before I've actually played it. You know what I mean? Because there's so like
Yeah,
in previous Pokemon games, there's so many leaks, and it's just like somehow you don't even intend to look at them, but you end up finding the whole fucking Pokedex before the games come out, and you're
yeah.
like, for fuck's sake, I've seen it now. I don't get as hyped for it, but with this one. I was going through the game like, oh my god, this has got a different form. Like, oh, I can catch this. Like, I went in blind in terms of Pokemon. Like,
Same.
I apart from the like one or two trailers I saw, even I kept away from a lot of the trailers to be honest. I didn't
I try
see,
to.
yeah, I didn't see many. I think I watched the like first couple, and I watched the last one, and even then, in the last trailer, like Game Freak was super like secretive with this one.
Yeah, they were really on top of this game.
So they like even in the last trailer, like, oh, all the stars have Hisuian forms, but they didn't even show them. That's how that
Good,
I love that though. I'm
good.
so glad that
Yeah,
they
innit?
didn't. Like they showed the silhouettes of them, but you're like, oh, so it's a silhouette of a Pokemon, but I have no clue what this looks like. So like, but yeah, I chose Rowlet, because like I was close to choosing between Cyndaquil and Rowlet for my starter.
See, interesting. I was the same. I almost
Yeah,
went Rowlet, but I went Cyndaquil instead. But I was
yeah.
between those two.
Yeah. So, like, seeing the three final Hisuian forms, do you have a preference? Would you change your like mind on that? I know you didn't use it in your team
Um,
anyway, the
I,
Typhlosion, but
I ultimately in the end, I think I it didn't matter. Like you said, because I haven't got any of the starters in my team. So
mhm,
to me, knowing what I know now, it wouldn't have mattered what I picked. It just throughout the game, the comp would have been a bit different.
yeah,
But ultimately, I don't think it would have. I probably still would have gone Cyndaquil because
mhm,
Typhlosion's got a pretty decent typing. I feel like to
yeah,
cover quite a lot of the early game.
mm,
But then I don't know. Rowlet probably would have been more helpful for me in the first couple of areas because
yeah.
it's just because of I think up until like the third area, having a
Mhm.
fire type isn't super helpful.
I think especially in that second area as well, where you got a lot of ground types and that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
or the third area where it's a lot of water and you're like,
yeah.
ah, fuck.
I mean, well, even then, like in the second and third one, sorry, not second and third ones, fourth and fifth areas, that might have been. That must have, oh, you got rid of it by then, surely, because you had like
Um,
Arcanine at that point, right?
I think I still had Typhlosion for a little bit of the fourth area, and
Yeah.
then I cheesed my way to get in a Growlithe to get the Arcanine. Because you're not spoilers. The Growlithe isn't as easy to get as you'd think. It's up quite high, and you can't really get to it until you get to about the fourth area.
Yeah.
Um, but I managed to cheese my way up to where they are.
Yeah.
I used one of the riding Pokemon and I Skyrimmed my way up that hill. I
See,
literally I was like, I wonder if this will work, and I was sort of serpentining a little bit, like just seeing where the
mhm.
the Pokemon would latch on to a certain piece of ground, and then I
Yeah.
choose my way up like that.
Fair enough, fair enough. I've like Growlithe is actually one of the ones I still need to find for my Pokedex. I guess another that we're going on to another thing then. The Pokedex is completely different as well in this game.
Yes.
It's not like oh you catch it and then the whole thing's complete. Like you have to go through like research tasks to get like a full Pokedex entry.
And you can't just see it. You actually have to catch the thing to get the entry started
Hmm.
anyway. Because
Yeah.
if you see it, yeah, you can do the research tasks, but it won't complete the tasks until you caught that Pokemon.
I didn't realize that actually. Like, I thought
Yeah,
like
no,
I
I
never thought of it
literally
that way.
only know that because what I'm doing now at Endgame is trying to complete the Pokedex.
Yeah, same here.
So I realized that afterwards because I was like, oh yeah, shit. I because for one of the side missions you need to get Cherum's full entry, right? And I had all the tasks, and I went to go show the guy, and he was like, "Yeah, come and show me when it's finished." And I was like, "What do you mean it's done?"
Yeah.
It turns out just because I never caught one doesn't count.
Bloody hell! Like, I've struggled finding Cherums to begin with though. Like, I found
Yeah,
one,
same.
caught it, and I'm like trying to fill out the Pokedex from that because I haven't found any others.
Oh well, you're in luck. I will say this to you. I managed to catch a Cherubi and a Cherum the other day. I had to evolve the Cherubi, but I have
Yeah,
a spare Cherum.
yeah.
So if you need it, we can trade.
I think like I feel like with the Pokedex entry as well, a little bit more context to it. Like so there's like certain conditions you need to do to fill out this Pokedex. And some of
Yeah.
them are like you need to see him do a certain move, or you need to see them use like an agile and strong type as well. We'll get into that a little
Yep.
bit more with the moves.
Or you need to throw food at them, or you need to evolve a certain amount of them, or you need to catch a certain amount of them,
Mm-hmm.
defeat certain amount of them with a type of move.
Move. Yeah. So there's so many conditions. And granted, you don't need to do all of them.
No, you only need to do get essentially 10 points. So that's basically 10 of the tasks.
Yeah.
But the ones with red arrows next to them are double points.
Mm-hmm.
So those count for two. So you don't have to. You can try and grind out just the ones that are like got the red arrow,
Mm-hmm.
but each task only has like 5 sets. So it's not always the best idea to just like grind out one of them.
I'm like 100% though. I absolutely love how they've done this Pokedex thing though. Like, I think it gives me so much more of an incentive to go out and find these Pokemon and like just repeatedly go and like either destroy them or catch them. And it's like
It
it
keeps
just
it fresh, doesn't it? Like you have to play it differently depending on what it says.
yeah, exactly. And like there's like certain ones where like because I know there's a mission where you have to fill out auxiliaries
Yeah.
full thing. And I was like 9 points. I was like, fuck's it. I don't know. I didn't know where to find auxiliaries. I just been like cruising the game with my fucking massive alpha one. And I had 9 points. And I was like, I'll actually look at this Pokedex entry now and see what I need to do to get this last point. And all I needed to do was use Hydro Pump. And that was literally it, and I would have got 10 points. So I was like, okay, sound. I just went out there, freaking use Hydro Pump, and that's it. My Pokedex
I
entry is
I
complete.
I feel that because there's so many of them right now. Like I wrote down a whole list of roughly what I need to do, right? And a lot of them really are just, oh, I just need to go and use this move with this Pokemon once, and then that's
Yeah.
it. I never have to use this Pokemon again. It can go back in the box,
Yeah.
entry done, right? But I really do appreciate this as well because it really fits the theme that this is the first Pokedex ever
Mm.
for the Hisui region, right? And you're part of the team putting it together. So it would make sense, but especially because there's no technology back then, you're all technically writing it in a book. The professor like updates the book every time, right? So it would make sense that he's like, right, we only know this much about this Pokemon. Go off and make it do this or see it do something, right? And then come back. Like it does make sense, doesn't it? Like, because that's what research is. You just go off and see it do a bunch of stuff and then come back
Yeah.
like, oh, this is what I saw.
It's literally that. Like, it's fun. Like, some people have complained about it. I'm like, nah, this is good. I like this. I think, like, the whole
Nah,
switch up thing is just, it makes the game so much more fresh and an enjoyable experience.
again, it makes a replay, at least right now, because obviously once I'm done with the Pokedex, I've caught all the legendaries, whatever, right? Once
Mm.
I've completed a Pokedex, I have no reason to touch the game again.
Yeah.
But at the same time, up until the point I'm absolutely 100% finished with it, I've
Hmm.
had a great time and
Oh,
it's been
yeah.
fresh the
Same.
whole time. Okay,
Hmm.
yeah, it's a bit grindy finishing the Pokedex because it becomes normal Pokemon now. I'm just grinding levels to get certain moves so it can master the move or so I can get to the level they can evolve, whatever, right? Now it's normal Pokemon, it's feeling a little familiar. But the rest of it has been like fresh as fuck. Like I've had so much fun.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I feel like even with like some of the grindy aspects of it, I still think it's still fresh at certain points, especially with the side quests as well. Because like
Yeah.
when you look at the original Pokemon games, and like technically there are side quests in those games, but they're not listed out for you like this one is. And I feel like just having a list of all these other things that I need to do, like I have a love-hate relationship with them. Don't get me wrong, because there's some side quests out there which I'm like, I absolutely hate this side quest.
Oh, don't even get me started on the
But
side quests.
there's
You already
there's
know where I'm going with this.
there's some out there which I'm like, God damn it. But like at the same time, it's still the checklist thing of it. The checklist factor of it is so handy to have because in the
It
original
is.
Pokemon games, like there's so many side quests. They're like, oh,
Yeah,
you go
but you
like
just have to know which ones you're doing.
exactly, yeah. And some of them you won't even know that's there. I feel like half the time in modern Pokemon games, I go up to someone, I'll talk to them. They've potentially got a side quest for me, but I'll forget about it. I'm not coming back to that guy at all in like in that game because you get there's very minimal payoff for it. And granted, I feel like there isn't a whole lot of payoff for some of these side quests anyway. But I feel like it's a list and there's things I need to do, and it's actively making me want to do them. So I've just got
I
something
think
to complete.
I think it is just the slight completionist in everyone. It's like you say, it's
Yeah.
because it's a checklist, you know, like there's a whole section for it that you're like, I have to do it. I don't want it there forever. I need to clear these things. But that is probably one of my only grievances is that some of these side quests are kind of bullshit. Okay. The one of the first ones you get, and I've complained to Pepe about this off screen before, right? You need to get a Weasel, but you need to get a really big one, right?
Yeah,
It needs to be bigger than 2'8".
yeah.
But most of them, the biggest one I caught without catching an alpha was 2'7", and he rejected it. I caught 32 of the little fuckers
Yeah,
before I
Jesus.
went and found an alpha one, and then he took it from me.
I feel like I got quite lucky with that quest because I remember you telling me about this. I remember, and I still need to complete it. So I was like, oh god, I wonder how many I'm going to go through. And I just found this sort of slightly bigger Weasel in the wild, and I was like, I'll catch it. It might be a good one, and it just so happened to be 2'9".
You're so
Like it
lucky.
was, and that was my fifth Weasel.
You're fifth. See, that's what I'm saying, right? It varies greatly between people because it's RNG. So
Yeah.
obviously it would be, right? And the thing is I've seen online like some of these entry ones
Mhm.
are the ones that are stumping people, like Cherim, which is a rare spawn, only found
Yeah.
in shook trees in certain areas
Yeah.
if you're lucky.
Yeah.
And again, to finish the entry, you need to catch one, but you don't know that until you've killed too many of them and then they stop turning up.
No.
And there's actually
Yeah.
quite a few Pokemon like that that not
Mhm.
necessarily linked to the side quests,
Mhm.
but like I'm trying to find a Bonsly right now, but
Ah,
those can
okay,
only
yeah.
be found in shaking ore in specific areas, or there's an outbreak, which is also random,
Oh god,
or
yeah.
like I have to catch Shieldons. I need to get more of them because the research tasks are crap for it. So to get most of the points, I need to just catch a bunch of them, but they only appear in space distortions in a
God, yeah,
specific
no.
area.
Again, they're random as well. Because like you just gotta hope that one turns up. There's no like signage of this distortion that's gonna like appear or whatever. You
Well,
just
that's
have
the
to be
thing.
lucky that it's like going
Even
on.
in the distortion, the one that I found it in, there were only 3 in there, and I need to catch like 8 of them to
Yeah.
get 3 points or 6 points because it's double. And
Mhm.
I was like, for fuck's sake, now I need to wait for another one to appear. It's a good thing I
Yeah.
need to grind in this area.
God. It is it I feel like it's gonna be a bit rage inducing to go through all this. But at the same time, I wanna like I think until the game just pisses me off so much, I'm like, screw this, I can't be bothered anymore. Like I'm still motivated to try and do this. Because I
Again, I'm
think
still
like
doing it, right?
yeah.
I complain, but it really is like the
Mm.
rare spawns are so rare. That's what makes it really annoying if you're
Hmm.
trying to complete the Pokedex. But besides that, I really don't have any other complaints.
I think I'm the same with you. I don't think I don't have many complaints about this game. It's very few and far between. I will say this though, like it gives me a slight more appreciation for Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. Just because like releasing this game 2 months before Arceus, it kind of reminded you about that region as well and certain
Yeah.
characters in that. But granted, it also makes me feel like Jesus Christ, Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl was such a shit game compared to this. Like I can
It was
appreciate the
very
story.
lacking.
Yeah, it is very like granted, like when you compare the two, they're very, very different games, like very opposite ends of
You
the
can see
scale
where
in
all
terms of
the
the
effort
Pokemon
went,
games. Yeah.
like where all the effort and budget went.
It's exactly that. Like I feel with those with Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, they were good for that like for the time that I played them. And I did not want to play any of the post game when I finished that game. But
No, I was done. Once I finished, I was done.
exactly. I did not do any of the post game of those games, but with this one, I'm like so motivated to try and like just do this post game just because no spoilers or anything, but there's one goal right at the end, like in post game of Arceus, that I feel I just want to get to that point. I want to get to that fight. It's the final mission you have to do. I just want to get that. I want to finish that mission. You know the exact mission I'm talking about, Nate. I
Yeah,
won't give it away. And I'm pretty
I
sure
won't
you've got
either.
yeah, you've like fought like a sort of relatively like sort of end gamey boss kind of thing. It's obviously not the end game boss, but you know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, all I will say is, you know, this game is good, right? When
mhm,
an average Pokemon game will take you, let's say, 40 hours, right?
mhm,
So on most Pokemon games, I would have had 40-ish hours, let's say.
mhm.
As of last night, I have 71 hours 55 minutes in this
Jesus.
game, and
Okay.
that's not even the end of it. I'm still going to be playing this
Yeah.
until I finish the Pokedex. So by the time I'm done, that easily could be 100 odd hours in that game.
Mm. That's it, innit? Like I feel I was looking at this actually because I had Let's Go Pikachu and Brilliant Diamond on my Switch. And I was curious because I was looking at I organized my games on the Switch as in the ones I've played the most, like in
Yeah.
terms of the menu. So Smash Bros is way up there. That's got like 600 hours. And then I was just looking through and then Brilliant Diamond and Let's Go Pikachu, weirdly enough, have the same amount of hours
Interesting.
played, which is roughly about 30. Uh,
Oh, that's quite low.
yeah, but Arceus, because literally that is me completing the story and then dropping it. That is what that is. But with
Fair.
Arceus, it is right now, I think it's my eighth most played game on the Switch. And it's like, it's probably averaging out. I think I'm not on 70 hours like you. Still quite a way off that, I think. I think I'm on 40-ish hours, I think.
Okay.
Um, But yeah, that is like it's and I still have like you, I haven't even like been tempted to put it down yet. Like there's times I'm taking little breaks from it, don't get me wrong. But like I still like keep on coming back to this game. I'm like, okay, cool, I want to try do a few hours on this and then I'll continue doing something else.
No, I'm the same. I played almost every day since it came out. I think I've, maybe close to about 5 days I haven't played it.
Yeah.
But even after it came out, I was almost finished with the story within like 2.5 days.
Oh, you were like speeding ahead because I remember talking to you about this, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I just got to the third area," and you're like, "Yeah, I'm about to fight the final noble." I was like, "Jesus Christ, what the what have you been doing?"
I've just, again, I really enjoyed the
Yeah,
game, so I just
that was
didn't put
two
it
days
down.
in. That was like,
Yeah,
I,
I
like,
just didn't put it down. Like I think the first day I played it for about 6 hours,
yeah,
or probably more than that, and like I just kept going. And that's
yeah,
for people who know me, that's a sign that I really like a game. I just don't stop playing it until
mm,
I get burnout. And
yeah,
that varies from game to game, but like if I really like a game, I guarantee you I would have finished it before a week is over.
mm. That's
Like I'll blitz through a game and finish it before 7 days is up. And like that's pretty normal for me if I really like a game. Because most times I've talked to Pepe, he'll be like, "Oh, how's that game?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm nearly done."
yeah,
And he'll be like,
yeah.
"When didn't that game come out? Like 3 days ago or something?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I just really, really like the game."
Yeah, I mean, yeah, fair play. If you like the game and you're like happy to play for it, that like that's it. like I've really enjoyed this. Trying to think if there's anything else. There's something I was
There
gonna
there
mention.
is actually one thing that we
Yeah.
didn't mention.
Mhm.
You can change the Pokemon's moves just on the fly
Oh,
whenever you feel like it, and it's super helpful. And it's kind of spoiled me for other Pokemon games now.
like the ease of this and the quality of life and the move changes is just like, oh, it is fantastic, honestly. The mastery thing as well, of whether
Yeah.
you can do the strong and agile style moves is like is brilliant. You got the side menu when you're in the battle, like where it shows you who's gonna move
Oh yeah,
next.
the battle order, and that's also different. You're not always exactly in order. Your turn, their turn, your turn,
Yeah.
their turn. Sometimes, even without using the styles,
Mm.
sometimes your Pokemon will go twice, or the other Pokemon will go twice. Like that also keeps it a bit fresh because you come to expect that, oh, they'll do a move and then I'll do a move. So then you
Mhm.
plan like one move ahead or something. But sometimes it throws you for a loop and your Pokemon will get KO'd because all of a sudden that Pokemon's so much faster than you. They've done two moves, or they've used agile style and then done two moves, and you're just like, shit, what do I
Mhm.
do now?
Like, sometimes you just be like, "Right, I gotta just, like, switch out or something." Like, sometimes you gotta, like, prioritize stuff, like, even status conditions. I love that status conditions don't last more than a battle anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
your
brilliant. Oh,
Pokemon paralyzed, like, battle's over, it's fine again. All you gotta do is heal it up. Like, that's all you gotta do.
yeah.
And it's just
And we
like
didn't even mention the crafting. Like,
crafting, yeah.
we only mentioned in passing, like, running around picking stuff up, but like it has a reason. It's because you can buy Pokeballs and
Mhm.
potions and stuff, or you can just go and pick up the stuff to do it.
Yeah.
And I found out that if you get your Pokemon to do that, that raises its friendship.
Mhm.
And it's actually one of the fastest ways to raise friendship in this game now.
Yeah.
Like some Pokemon get friendship faster through XP, but you also get a tiny amount of XP for picking stuff up with a Pokemon. So that's what I've been doing with the friendship ones. It's just in an area whilst you're running past, just get it to pick up everything.
Yeah. I feel like that's like there's so many ways like that like this game has changed and you just appreciate it so much more. It's just so clean. I love it. Like
It is. The thing is, it just makes you a bit wary of the next mainline game, because it's like, oh, if some
mm,
of this stuff doesn't carry over, then I'm gonna be pissed off.
yeah, it's a tough one to see where they'll go forward with this because I feel like there's two camps right now. There's people that love the old style of Pokemon, who are like the ones where like it's like, oh yeah, you keep the status conditions, you have like the all that sort of stuff, like the turn-based stuff. Like,
Yeah.
but like then you've got this whole other audience right now, right? Which is pretty much like, I want to see more of this. I want to see improvements on this. I want to see them do Legends like Hoenn or something like that. Like some sort of like different Legends games in different regions. I think Hoenn's probably the one I've seen requested the most. I've seen.
See, I think they could redeem Alola, like Sun and Moon, with this,
That'd be good. Yeah.
because that's another like you could easily be like, okay, it's still not open world. Here's some areas because the different islands and stuff, and they've got the Tapus and they've got the Ultra Beasts and stuff. Like that could
Hmm.
be a whole nother story in itself. That could be kind of interesting,
It's got
I
a lot of
think.
history, that region as well. Like
Yeah,
that's quite
and
good.
also because people didn't like it because there's no gym battles, right? So this is kind of like maybe you can use another Legends game for that region and be like, this is the history of that region. That's why it's like this in the future. I don't know. I
Oh,
feel like you
mate.
could redeem it like that.
I just thought of a good one that would be great. Like Kalos, right? But
Oh,
like,
that's another one that could be redeemed.
they
Yeah.
go on so much about that Pokemon War. Like there's always been this
Yeah.
lore, but finally, if we get to see like the war that everyone goes on about in the Pokemon universe, but no one knows anything about, and
Dude,
that
you
is
could do that with Kanto as well. Because like in
yeah,
Kanto, they've got remnants of people, like Lieutenant Surge in that.
yeah.
Oh,
There's
dude,
so
I
much.
never even thought about that.
Yeah, I literally the moment you said about the Lola thing, I was like, oh crap, yeah, there's this thing, like, and there's so many like games that people thought weren't great that you can just redeem at this point with
Yeah.
this new style, and I'd be happy with it. Like, because I
I'd be
think
down.
they've tried different styles with Let's Go and that, and it hasn't caught on. People weren't massive fans, but this one, this is like this. I want to see more of this. I want to see more Legends games, and I wouldn't like. I'd 100% be like purchase it day one, easy. I purchase most Pokemon games day one anyway, but
Yeah,
like
same.
I'd literally be like, yes, I want to play more of it. I want more of this style, and I'm so keen to see what they can improve as well in this.
Oh yeah, right. It just feels like all they like if there were more Legends games, they can only go up from here really, because the
Mm,
base is already so good
yeah.
that it's like okay, there's just improvements on certain things.
This is one thing as well that I love that like they didn't feel pressured to add new Pokemon into this. Like,
Yeah.
because with each Pokemon game, it's like, oh, here's the new Dex. And it's like a whole bunch of Pokemon which you feel like granted, I'm not gonna hate on any of the designs of like new Pokemon, right? But like there's the complaint is with the new Pokemon games like Sword and Shield and like sort of anywhere past Gen 3, I feel. People feel like, oh, designs aren't as good as some of the older games, like which is a somewhat valid complaint. I say it is and it isn't. But
I don't know.
like,
I see it from both ends. Like I used to
yeah,
be like that, like, oh, these new Pokemon designs. But if you really look at it objectively, the original Pokemon designs, they're just animals. They're
yeah.
mostly just animals that are different color, and that's about it,
You've
right?
literally got like Ditto, which is
Yeah,
a
or a
blob
pink
with dots.
blob.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm like, what are you complaining
yeah.
about? If anything, the designs have actually gotten better.
Ekans is a snake.
That's
There's
what I'm
literally
saying.
nothing
Like
special about it.
even
But yeah.
even Squirtle, it's just a turtle that's blue. It's just a blue turtle.
Like so, but this like going back to what I was saying, like with this latest game, like they didn't even add any new Pokemon really. They just added different forms to them and like different evolutions. Like, and even then, there's a couple.
Now that you mentioned that, maybe Alola would just be a story thing because, like, unless you do more Alolan forms, but I think that would just piss people off.
Oh god. I don't know. I'd love to like go in of like the sort of Legends world and find Alolan Executor again.
Oh, it would definitely be a noble. There's
It
no doubt
oh
about that.
man. But yeah, like the Alolan forms is a thing, but like I know there's so many like there's so many different regional forms of Pokemon now. I think you can just pick and choose which ones you want at this point.
Yeah, I
But
guess.
oh man, but like just talking about all the different potential of different regions for Legends games is it's exciting. I want to see more of them. Hopefully they will. They see this feedback and be like, okay, cool, we're gonna put more of this out because
You'd hope so, right?
they've hit the nail on the head with this, surely.
Yeah, they did. I mean, it's also reflected in sales and that, like the reviews. This is the best-selling Pokemon game in about 5 or 6 years or something, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. It sold 6 million in its first week, something like
yeah,
that.
like it's the best-selling Pokemon game of modern times.
Yeah.
So the numbers speak for itself.
Mm-hmm.
And even this whole video is just us gushing about how great this game is. So it's safe to say, go and buy it.
Mm-hmm. One thing I will say is, well, one thing is that this proves, right, that they don't need to put out two versions of a game to
Oh
be
yeah, that too.
successful. Because each Pokemon game has been, oh, he got this one or this one, but this is just the one.
And it's
And
got everything.
it has got and you're like, this is they don't need to put out two versions anymore. Back in the day, that was a good gimmick. It's not a good gimmick anymore. Just put the one
Well,
game out.
especially when the games are like 45 to 50 quid now. Like
Yeah.
people can't afford that. Okay?
Yeah.
Just one game will be fine. Mess with
Exactly.
the spawn rates, but not too heavily like you have in this one. Or you have in other ones as well,
Mhm.
because that's normally my biggest complaint is spawn rate for some of these Pokemon in any game is
Mhm.
stupid. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, anything else you got to say on it, Nathan? Anything else?
One small thing,
Yeah.
and it's got nothing to really impact anything, but I do like that when you call the riding Pokemon, the flute sound is just at the start of brilliant diamond shining pearl
Mhm.
is that noise
Yeah.
that starts at the game. That's the flute sound. Just a nice little touch, a little callback.
I like the little callbacks in this game. Like the fact that half the main characters in it as well are callbacks to other characters in the Pokemon series.
Yeah, they're basically just redesigns and they're like their ancestors of like the main characters,
Yeah.
a lot of the main characters, or if not all of the main characters in Diamond and Pearl.
And even other regions as well. Like you got like Clay's
Yeah,
ancestor, and you got like certain other ones as well. Like it's cool. It's like nice little callbacks to the whole Pokemon series in general, and you gotta love it.
yeah. Again, it's a great game. Go and try it out, or go and watch some of it and see if you'll like it. But honestly, it's a really good game. I do
Mm.
recommend anyone who's interested go and try it if you can.
100%. There's one thing as well. Okay, one last point for me is that like when this game was first announced, right, and I saw gameplay of it, I was really skeptical because I'm not like like when I've played open world games before, I've not been that great at them, and I'm always like a bit, I'll just drop this. But this is a game I stuck with massively. Like I just loved it. I was a bit concerned at first, but all those concerns were like gone when I played this game. It's like
Yeah, again,
so
it
good.
is exactly, it's not like other open world games. This is exactly Pokemon.
Hmm.
Like, if this is what Sword and Shield would have been like, none of you would have hated it. I guarantee you that. So
100%.
go and try it.
Nice one. Well, on that note, I feel like we're all good. We
Yeah.
summarize everything. Well, thank you for listening, guys. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. Check us out on all podcast platforms. Links are in the description. And we'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.